When I was a little boy, I was told never to tell a lie. And even though I didn't have a particularly religious upbringing, I attended Sunday school and we were taught morals and ethics and how to behave. And it was pretty clear that the truth was a high value that we should always pursue. And to this day, I completely agree with that. The question is it really the highest goal to never tell a lie? Is it appropriate to tell a lie at some points? And when you're a kid trying to figure out how the world works and how you should behave, this is a tricky one because you want to tell the truth as much as you possibly can. But by the end of this video, I'm going to give you an illustration where not only is it better to tell a lie, it is the moral thing to tell a lie. So hang in there with me. My mother had a peculiar habit of when we would meet somebody, she would find probably the least attractive thing about them and make some comment like, "Oh, Susan, that's a lovely hat you're wearing." In truth, the hat was probably hideous. It was probably gaudy and really the least attractive thing, but that was a habit that my mom had. So I'm sitting there as a young kid thinking, well, I've been told to never tell a lie, but clearly the hat is ugly. So what am I supposed to do? So I would hem and haw and I would feel horrible about it. But now as a grown man, I have a set of principles and guidelines that I live by. And it helps organize really how you should behave, not the general never tell a lie. The people who you always need to be honest with, regardless, are your spouse, your family members, your mom and dad, brothers and sisters, your business associates, people who pay your salary. They're not paying you to be dishonest. Clients, they're not paying you to be dishonest. You have what's called a fiduciary duty to those people. You have a faith, a trust relationship that both of you are going to rely upon. Now, no such relationship exists with strangers. Going back to that example as a little kid, I'm not a fashion consultant. I'm not an adult. No matter what I say, that person's not going to change your attitude. If I say, "Hey, lady, that's a really ugly hat," I'm just going to look like a little snotty kid. And if I say, "Oh, that's the most beautiful hat I've ever seen," over the top, that's not great either. So you just best situation is nod your head, agree with your mom, and move on. It's really what's called a little white lie. The greater good in that circumstance is to preserve that other person's feelings. Obviously, they like the hat. You're going to have no influence. She's not relying upon you for your honest assessment. And organizing who you always need to be honest with and recognizing that you don't really owe other people the truth. Now, saying that doesn't mean that you should be a habitual liar. That doesn't mean that in any circumstance you should lie to a person for your own personal gain. But if it preserves a person's feelings, by all means, I can't see where that could be construed as anything but a kindness. So my general principle is relationship-based. If people rely upon you for the truth, if you say to them, "Hey, I'm always going to be honest with you," you'd better be honest with them. You need to be a person of your word. With my own son, I told him I would never lie to him. And he could always count on his old man to tell him the truth no matter what, because he's trying to find his way in the world, and he knows that I'm going to be his biggest advocate. So here's a little thought experiment to prove that telling the truth isn't the greatest good. And in fact, it can actually be a bad thing. And the classic example is, let's say that you're in the military. Let's say it's wartime and you get captured. And the enemy asks for you to, quote, "tell the truth about where your fellow soldiers are," so they can slaughter them. Well, of course, you not only don't owe the enemy the truth, if anything, you need to do anything not to tell them what's actually there. So the truth is a high ideal, no doubt about it. It is a lofty goal to be pursued in any all cases. But it's not the end-all be-all. And if you need to tell a white lie for a greater good, which I would contend is another person's feelings, then I think it's totally acceptable, and don't beat yourself up about it.